So we want to welcome everybody to the community meeting number 6 for the presentation of wall F, G, H, I, J, and K mural unveiling. Today is November 2nd, 2022, and it is 6:10. We're going to be starting the community meeting. Just a quick introduction for the South Central Arts. Well, we are a grassroots network of artists, organizers, and allies that come together to address social justice issues in South Central and similar communities. We do that by lifting the work of local artists, local entrepreneurs, and cultural producers in the area, and have been doing that since 2017. Up next, we're going to be introducing David de la Cruz from the
Thanks,
Urban
Will.
Studio.
Thanks, Will. Just a heads up, you probably saw it in the chat. We'll try to speak a little bit slower. Appreciate you all jumping on. Good evening, everybody. Super excited to be on this 6th community meeting with you all. It's somewhat of a celebration. It's a good turning point to show off where we're at with all of the different artwork from the artists. My name is David de la Cruz. I'm part of the Urban Studio. We're a fiscal sponsor to South Central Arts, a strong collaborator with the South Central Arts, and are just really excited to be unveiling these next round of murals with you all to just really get some feedback. Our organization is really committed and dedicated to mentorship for projects like this, and thinking about ways that community members are involved and their voices are reflected in public art projects specifically, but also in anything related to changing the built environment. So without further ado, I wanted to give thanks. We have Mayor Eric Garcetti on the call as well. If you can share some words and help us open up the space as well, would really appreciate that.
Absolutely. Good evening, everyone. I hope everybody's having a great wet day in Los Angeles. Getting rain in Los Angeles is like a blessing these days. And I was just today actually at the Great Wall of Los Angeles, one of the spiritual, artistic, cultural centers of our city that tells the story of LA, a place that will be expanded, the largest mural in America, if not the world, and a place where Tongva and Chumash native history to its colonial history to present day is something that we're making every single day in this city. We're an imperfect paradise and certainly don't sugarcoat our challenges, but there's no place I'd rather be. And I'm so excited. I want to thank Will Flo and everybody who's on here tonight for just really being co-authors of that history, instead of it being one that is decided by others. You are the artists and the makers of this moment. I want to welcome the community who's here too. And really what you are doing to make our City of Angels a beautiful place for our children and families, and this vision of transforming alleys into a community beautification, throughput, green space. God knows the last couple of weeks we've needed to show who we are in Los Angeles. We've felt the pain, our hearts kind of ripped apart by racism and homophobia and anti-Indigenous sentiments that we saw expressed from City Hall. But when people said, what should we do? I said, we should do what we always do. We figure out a way to show what our truth is, where we live it, put forward in the images and the culture and the relationships we have, the way that we embody. And I think in Council District 9, I went to the swearing in of the council member last night. Here's a Black man representing a majority Latino district, the diversity of the Japanese Americans that were there, of the jazz history that contributed not just to LA, but to this entire country and world. We know that every single day we can find and we can connect with not just a sense of diversity and inclusion. I don't like those words that much because diversity is so neutral, and inclusion means somebody has power and they're giving it to you. I like the idea of belonging. And I think these artists and these representations that you see here today of artistic vision is all about making sure that LA is a city where everyone belongs. And I want to thank you, Will Flores, and everybody who is part of South Central Arts for having that vision. And I know these alleyways and the network of alleyways that they will join are going to be a place for healing. They're going to be a place for joy. Maybe somebody's going to ask somebody to marry them there. It's certainly going to be a place where folks come and make their history, find their peace, and find their piece of community too. So Los Angeles is a city of storytellers. And I always say we're the best narrators in the world. If LA was, a cave 30, 50, 100,000 years ago, we'd be watching the shadows dance off the firelight on the walls of the cave as we told the stories of humanity passed down one generation to the next. Here in LA, we put that on film, now in digital content, but we also do it in our art. And this is the mural capital of the world. And so I hope you're letting your neighbors and your schools and your places of worship know that this space is coming to the community that you share and that you own this and belong to it and come from it. And I hope you're planning family bike rides through it, strolls through these alleyways, planning events that will come here. This is your art. So yeah, engage with it, but know that it is yours to protect, to cherish, to keep in good stead, and share the word near and far and invite others to the table. Look around and see who's missing. And soon, I can't wait to see in my hometown this network, this intricate network of alleyways that will take the one thing that we have, great weather and the most beautiful owned land that we so often have only put aside for cars or for trash or for things that degrade our community. We can now transform that and uplift it to have safe pathways for biking, for cycling, for skateboarding. And I can't wait to see the end result. I have 39 days after 21 years of being a local elected official. I have 39 days more. And if somebody asked how I'm doing, I said, I'm neither clinging towards power nor checked out. I'm savoring every single day. I'm in this Zen place. My grandfather was a Mexican immigrant, and he and my grandmother, their parents were both from Mexico. My dad grew up in South Central Los Angeles. He was a barber, my grandfather. And I once asked him, what's the best cut of the day? Your first one, right? When you're freshest? And he said, no, it's my last cut of the day. When I'm most warmed up, when I've been practicing all day, and I just know and I'm focused. And I kind of feel like I'm in my last haircut. And while I won't have the title mayor in a month and a half, I'll have an even more dangerous title that I share with you, which is constituent, and a more beautiful title, which I've never lost, of Angelino. So I can't wait to bring my family through and to see the beautiful art. Thank you to the artists for bringing your vision, your passion, your heart, and for leading with love. And I can't wait to see what the results are. And thank you all. It's a real honor to represent you, and it's an honor to be invited here tonight.
Yes, if we were in a room, absolutely would see a wave of applause. Appreciate the words. Thank you so much for opening it up and just warming us up to the evening. I would also like to invite, we have Nora from the council member's office. As you all know, this project is in Council District 9, and just wanted to give the opportunity to Nora to share some words as we approach just sharing this last bit of artwork with you all before it gets installed. Nora, are you
I'm here.
available? Excellent.
So obviously this is amazing that, Mayor Garcetti was on at your meeting. That's great that he's able to kind of share with us today. But I really want to thank William and Davi and the whole team for your work on this project. This isn't our first Green Alley, so we're excited to continue the network of beautifications in our neighborhood. And I'm looking forward to seeing, the proposals and the art pieces here. So I'm just going to sit back and listen and enjoy the work that you guys have done. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Nora. And so, as you all know, the public art efforts are really a piece of this larger effort that the Trust for Public Land is working on. And so we are working closely with the Bureau of Sanitation and the Trust for Public Land to really beautify these alleyways, long overdue beautification in South Central. And I want to turn it over to Diana to talk more about the larger efforts at play that our public art efforts are supporting. So Diana, if you can take over from here.
Thank you so much, Davi. I was about to call you Will, so another person that confuses the two of you. But thank you so much, Davi. My name is Diana. I want to thank everybody here, and let me slow it down, for being here with us tonight. I work with the Trust for Public Land, and if you don't know about us, through the Alley Network work that we've been doing, the Trust for Public Land is a national organization that focuses on parks and open space projects throughout the country. And today I am here to just talk about the overall alley renovation project. And as you know, this project is a collaboration. It can't be done in a vacuum. So not only are we collaborating, is the Trust for Public Land one of the agencies, but we also have CD9, LA Sanitation, and of course, the community, which is always important. But the big focus of today is how do we reimagine alleys? And as you can see, there's a lot of elements to these alleyway projects that we're implementing in CD9. But one of the biggest goals is really how do we really transform neglected spaces that are a public asset to the community? And with that in mind, great, my notes. These alleys are often underestimated spaces, but they can be actually a space for multi-benefits for the community. And as you know, today's focus is really the public art. But I can't go on without saying that one of the overall goals is to make these a safe environment for pedestrian, bicyclists, and vehicles, because we acknowledge that these alleyways are still a pathway for vehicles. Some of these elements, besides the art, are stormwater best practices, which includes permeable surfaces, infiltration trenches, dry well systems, and rain gardens or bioswales. Lighting and signage is also some of the things that will be implemented, and walking and biking improvements. And of course, what we're here for tonight, public art. Next slide, please. So along with that, there's a bunch of other elements such as the interpreted elements. If you see on the bottom slide, there will be some sandblasting words and phrases in many of the alley segments that will be part of this network. Many of these are around the topic of culture, cultural history, neighborhood history, watershed information, native plants, and of course, indigenous culture and history. Some of these sandblasted wording will also include funder acknowledgement. Next slide, please. And then this is actually just some of the renderings. This is the alley segment on the north side, which is the Quincy Jones network. And if you can see, there's the concept design of like what will be included, some murals, the sandblasting on the floor, I apologize. The design that is has been chosen for these alley segments. And then on the sides, there will be some improvements for some of the alley segments of like planters. And for others, there will be planters embedded within the alleys when they're wide enough. Next slide, please. And with that, I did want to go into the alley networks themselves. So to the north, to the north, on Jefferson Boulevard, if you are familiar with the Numero Uno Market on San Pedro, and then Quincy Jones Elementary School on Griffin, then you are familiar with the new alley network that's coming into that community, because we are improving basically the connection from the market to Quincy Jones Elementary. And then to the south, we have a couple of other segments, one running from, the best way I can describe this is, if you know where the McDonald's is on MLK, and west of that, all the way up to where Harmony one of the Harmony ends of the school, then that's one of the alleys for the Central Jefferson. And then to the west, you see even more alleys that run from 42nd Place or Jazz Park all the way to 40th Place or Center for Advanced Learning. And then to the east, it connects to Jefferson High School. And with that, I think that is the overall, kind of the overarching project overview. I will be sticking around in case there's any questions, but again, the focus of this is the art component, and I hope that you guys are as excited as I am to hear from the artists.
Awesome. Thank you, Diana. Up next, we're going to be talking about the process briefly. So we captured over 50 surveys from the community. Most of them were from zip code 90011 and 90044. And the main component on the left side, where you can see that the culture, cultura, was the most prevalent topic. And here are some of the words that came up during the survey as well. So we have conservation, central geometric shapes, public home, conservation again. And so these surveys were used by the artist, and they interpreted their vision of what the surveys had to present the art to them, to the community. And so first we would like to introduce our lead artist mentor, Eric Kincree Walker. Eric Kincree Walker has been doing art for 40 years strong and has continued to do art in the scene, making a difference, helping others through art as therapy. In the early 80s in LA, Create made a name for himself in the art form called style writing, but commonly known as street art or graffiti art. He has exhibited his masterpieces in Pasadena, USC Pacific Asia Museum, California African American Museum, ESMOA, LACMA, MoCA, and the Getty Museum, Research Institute, Permanence Collection, to name a few. As a commercial artist, he worked for clients including McDonald's, Nike, General Motors, Mars Candy, Dodge, and many more. His canvases have appeared in music videos for Maya, Genuine, and films such as Friday After Next and Anchorman. His creative diversity embraces many styles for almost anyone, and he is truly a force to be reckoned with. Everyone, the living legend, can create. Create, would you like to say a few words to the community?
Hey, good evening, everybody. It's a pleasure and an honor for me to be here. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So yeah, once again, thank you for having me on here and also for being part of this wonderful project. It's a great experience because right now at this point, working with the team of artists that has been selected to be the premier artist to showcase their work throughout the community in this alley project is a great thing. What's great about it is that, well, like as I've been saying, is what's great is this. A lot of the artists are able to have a voice through creativity, through showing their art, through also not just through their art, but talking about social issues through their art. You know, talking about different things to awaken people's minds, souls, and spirits, to take them to a whole different level or plateau, to be able to see something as if they're looking at a billboard on a daily basis, but instead of a billboard, they're going to be walking through their communities, whether they're visitors from another city, state, or country coming through and they're witnessing the art, or people that's local living in the community to observe and come through, take a look at the murals and be able to identify, be able to connect visually and spiritually with the artwork, so that way, when they do take a look at the work is so powerful, it's making a statement to where it gives the artist a voice, and then it also gives the people who's viewing the artwork a chance to grow from it, or to share this information with other people, to even come take a look at it, you know, so that way they can enjoy it, you know, in the communities. As for me being an artist, that's one of my responsibilities as an artist, is that I learned throughout a period of time is that in order for us to make an impact, we have to be able to do it through our gifts and talents, you know. So instead of abusing the talents, we using it in the correct way. And so I think this is a good thing. A lot of the artists is super hyped up and ready to move forward to get the work actually presented. And but it's a process, you know. We have to go through the different steps and channels. And what else can I tell you is that I'm excited, man, you know, just being the lead artist, because I've having the opportunity to work with people who haven't actually even, not everybody, but some, haven't painted murals before, or if they have, it's been on a small scale. So this is a great opportunity for a lot of the artists to do something on a larger scale as a start for them in their career. And so I just wanted to just say those mighty words to the community. Be on the lookout, folks. I hope that you guys enjoy what you're going to be witnessing. And feel free, I guess, if you have any questions when you see me out there in the community, feel free to connect with me and we can take it from there.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Create. A reminder, we are providing interpretation. Si estamos proveyendo interpretación, si gustaría entrar al canal de español, solo tiene que oprimir el globo para escuchar esta reunión en español. Up next, I wanted to introduce artist mentor Erica Montelongo, Muse. Erica is an artist based out of South Central Los Angeles. Erica works with acrylics, aerosol, paint, colored pencils, and silk screening. She's been a part of local projects, assisting lead artists, as well as working on her own projects. While she is primarily self-taught, Erica has also trained in silk screening, painting, and drawing at LA Trade Tech. Her art focuses on self-discovery, self-reflection, Mother Earth, her community, and their struggles, while highlighting culture, knowledge, and liberation. I'd like to invite Erica Muse to say any words to the community.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, David. Thank you, Will, Create, and the rest of the team. I'm really grateful and also honored to be here and to be a part of this project. I'm really excited to get to be a part of this process and just see the artists just flourish and just also put a lot of their effort into their work. So yeah, I'm really, really excited and really happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Muse. Up next, we're gonna start introducing the artists that are gonna be highlighted on these walls, starting with A1. A1 is a multi-talented, well-known graffiti artist and muralist from Los Angeles. He started his painting journey in 1982 in New York through his cousins and continued to emerge as a legend in Los Angeles through his career. He has instructed students and taught them the history of graffiti art. He has also exhibited paintings on canvases, walls, murals, art shows, and clothing. His work has appeared in the movie Training Day, and he has been featured in the media, being interviewed regarding his art and special reports on graffiti. His talent isn't only limited to painting, but also to metal. He restores classic cars and creates them from the bottom up. He considers himself to be a perfectionist and takes pride in his artwork and the cars that he has restored. He is extremely professional and demonstrates integrity through his work. Everyone, A1.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. Just really excited to be here with you guys and be a part of this project. Looking forward to getting this going and seeing the project, once it's entirely done, being able to explore all the alleyways. So really looking forward to that.
And would you like to introduce your sketch?
Yeah, pretty much what I'm signifying here is, as it says, no Baya, no life, which Baya, coming from the Paiute language, it would translate to water. So the fact, if you know water, you know what life is. And without water, we'll end up like, as you see on the opposite end, the pole, it's gonna be just lifeless. I mean, as humans, we can only go 3 days without water before we dehydrate and die. So it's something that I feel that people need to be alert of, and hopefully realize that if we don't take care of our natural resources such as water, and our other natural resources, we're going to end up in a desolate wasteland. Mankind will have no future. So this piece kind of represents like a yin and a yang, the dark and the light.
Thank you, A1.
Appreciate your words, A1. Thanks so much. So moving on to our next artist, Sen. Sen arrived from El Salvador as a 5-year-old child and was raised by his devoted grandmother in the Westlake district of Los Angeles. His dedication and display of natural talent and artistic abilities drew the attention of community members who sought his help and tasked him with producing signs and designing flyers for local community events. Sen's interdisciplinary artistic expertise has led him to work and volunteer for several organizations in the nonprofit sector. These include Central American Resource Center, Plaza de la Raza School of Performing Arts, St. Elmo Village, AmeriCorps, Public Allies Los Angeles, to name a few. He is presently working as the Youth and Art Coordinator for All People's Community Center in South Los Angeles, teaching art to children and youth. His community dedication and volunteerism has landed him interviews on radio stations such as KPFK, 90.7 FM Los Angeles. Sen is constantly painting in the different medias. He continues to revitalize and beautify the streets of Los Angeles with murals. Sen, I wanted to invite you to share some words with the community and also introduce your art piece.
Hello, good evening. My real name is Eric Moreno. That's my artist name. We go by as graffiti artists, we always go as by our nicknames, which is Sen. That's what everybody calls me now. But I'll be working on this mural. My artwork, most of my artwork that I do, like in my bio things, I work more with the youth. So a lot of the work that I do has involved community, and they are involved themselves in the process of it, whether it is from the beginning to the end. I tend to gear more in teaching people culture, whether it's my personal Mayan background, or the Aztec or Peruvian or African American. I like to teach that and bringing out that art history part about it. In a lot of my artwork and in this mural that I'm about to work on, that's what I'm actually bringing in there. It's called La Tlacuila, which is the meaning of, and back in Mesoamerican language, it would mean, script, writer, artist. It is the person that pretty much writes down, puts down in images or writing back in the day, our history, our stuff, or, depicts what we were doing then and there. So, and the person that is doing it is a female pretty much. And what I represent with that is pretty much the female coming into that light, into that moment in time where they're racing up to pretty much, for the rights, I would say, not so much for the rights, but, to stand up and say they're there as well, and how they've been part of our community. And to me, that's, it kind of reminds me a lot of my friends that were graffiti writers that are females, and they pretty much battled the same battles that we did. And this is what it is. It's pretty much depicting that part. It's just spraying pretty much the spray, and then it's creating a Quetzalcoatl or Kukulkan, what it's is the feather serpent god of the Mesoamerican deities. And it has a lot of representation, and it has a lot with battle. That's where I'm going with it. And then she's spraying her battles, in other words. And at the same time, I did add new things because I was asked to add a little bit more because we had more room for the mural. So, and I didn't have that much time to add a lot. But what I did was, to the right and to the left, you'll see two symbols. And since my mural didn't depict anything that had to do with conserving water, it didn't show it that much. I decided to bring it into some old symbolism, which is the left is water, the symbol of the water for Mayan. So if you look it up, and the right is the symbol of earth, which is, you know, the protection on earth. And at the same time, when she's praying it, that is her struggle, and that has been the struggle for us as mankind or women, to protect our lands, to protect, you know, our earth. You know, it's the thing. So, and then you can see in the sides of it, they're being surrounded. One on the right, which is earth, is being surrounded by clouds and air, which is some of the elements. And then the left is water, which is the conservation of water as well. So that's what my mural is. I will be using spray cans mostly for this mural. I use all mediums. I know how to use all the mediums possible there's out there, if so, but I've chosen to use spray cans for this because it would keep me at that color balance. So that means that what you see here, the colors that you see here, you're gonna see them in the actual mural.
Awesome.
And I think that's it. That's all.
Thank you, Sen. Up next, we have Art Habitual. Dale, Art Habitual is a LA contemporary artist that loves to create art for the masses of humanity and diverse world. Art Habitual has been painting in South Central for about 8 years, painting many murals, sign painting, and illustrations throughout the city, inspired by all the diverse cultures that stream throughout the city. Art Habitual's art is influenced by life, nature, and the inner city graffiti culture that has a strong presence in Los Angeles. Art Habitual is a self-taught artist that uses mediums such as acrylic, oil, and aerosol paint, spray paint. Art Habitual loves painting imagery of contemporary art, fantasy, scenic landscapes, graffiti, and any subject matter to bring peace and harmony to today's advancing world. Art Habitual is a muralist that enjoys painting for the community, inspiring the children to be creative and bringing peace with his artistic visions and abilities. Everyone, Art Habitual couldn't join us, but we have someone introducing his artwork. Eric Montelongo.
Thank you, Will. I will be explaining the concept of Art Habitual's mural. Titled Native Beauty, my mural is about the culture of the native land and representation of the people of the sun. I choose to paint the history and roots of the Latino people's cultural background. I drew the god Quetzalcoatl, which means precious serpent, the deity in Aztec and Mayan culture and literature, the god of life, light, and wisdom. He was the creator of arts and crafts and knowledge, the god of the sun, wind, air, and learning. I also chose to draw the Aztec pyramid to signify the historical buildings that the ancients built. Around the land of the pyramid, I drew corn, which symbolized fertility, prosperity, and joy. On the right, I drew the hummingbird. It was a symbol of rebirth, the path to new beginnings. The Aztecs believed that strong, loyal warriors were to be reincarnated to a hummingbird and granted the next life in the promised land. In the focal point of the drawing, I drew the sun because it was very important to the Aztec people. They truly appreciated the sun as it was the source of life, provided warmth and sustenance to all living creatures. It was a true power source to all life on planet Earth and truly valued to the highest degree. I chose this drawing because it is important for the Latino culture to know their roots and where they came from. It's a beautiful part of history and can benefit the community to have an understanding of the ancient lands and beliefs. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Muse. Up next, I wanted to introduce Brenda Cibrian. Brenda is a multidisciplinary artist whose style is inspired by nostalgic, dreamy, and surreal aesthetics, transporting the viewer to a place that feels both fantastical and familiar. Brenda's latest work has placed Mexican iconography at the forefront, paying homage to Frida Kahlo, the Mexican desert landscape, and Alebrije folk art. Previous murals have been for community businesses in South Central, Long Beach, and Los Angeles. In addition to working as a muralist, Brenda has also showcased her art in galleries both in LA and Orange County, occasionally showing work outside the area. Most notably, her painting Healing Honey Temple was part of the Southgate Museum 2020 show, Cuídate, and was chosen third place for Best of Show by the community of Southgate. Brenda is currently a resident artist at the Hive Gallery and Studios in downtown LA. Brenda's from Compton and currently lives in Long Beach, California. Brenda, I'd like to invite you to share some words with the community and introduce your mural.
Hi, everyone. This is Brenda. Thank you for the intro. So my mural is called Lighting the Way to the Future. A lot of the concepts, well, like all of the artists, our concepts came from the surveys that were done with the community. And there were a lot of really great ideas in the surveys, but the ones that stuck with me were about the water cycle, positive messages for the youth and the community, and also the shout out for the Stay for LA program, which I have personally benefited from, as well as my family and friends, because we all like animals and rescue animals. My sketch has kids and like teens holding animals with the goal of inspiring viewers to show empathy to the creatures that we coexist in. I know that it's, you know, we live in a city, so sometimes we forget that we also have animals living with us. And also, you know, it could probably inspire somebody to maybe adopt a pet through the programs that LA has. I also have elements of the water cycle around the central focus. So, you know, like overlaying everything is rain. In the back, we have the San Gabriel Mountains. So that represents like a snow melt. And then we also have representation of the water table underneath. And this imagery is inspired by the like elementary school textbooks where they kind of simplify the concept of the water cycle. So I just wanted to kind of touch on some of the main ones and put them in the background on my piece. I took pictures of the areas and just, you know, I feel like if you live around here, you always see the mountains and you can see them when they have snow and you see them when they don't have snow. We're also a city by the ocean. So a lot of those things just were already in my head, but I did get inspiration, photos from, you know, family and friends, nieces and nephews, and the pets that they have for the animals. So I like to begin projects with a sense of optimism. And so hopefully this mural inspires the viewers to feel positive about our community and to look forward to making our community even better in the future by learning about our ecosystems and also by you know, showing compassion and empathy to everybody involved, including the animals. So that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda. Up next, we have Manuel Vida Bracamonte. Born in El Salvador, native to Los Angeles, studied and earned a BFA in drawing and painting at Cal State Long Beach. Vida resides between Echo Park and MacArthur Park area. Vida's artwork has evolved between a hybrid of graph and Mayan hieroglyphs. His artwork captures stories that need to be told from the many that can't speak up in our communities. Vida continues to paint and grow, trying to bend time and sound to create a vision we can all see. Everyone, Vida Bracamonte.
Hello, everyone. It's an honor to be a part of this project, and it's really cool to see everybody's sketches coming to life finally, and everything finally coming together. The title of my mural is called Our History Runs Deep. And what it is what I have been represented here is a mixture of Mayan entities as well as Egyptian. And what I'm trying to show on the right side, yes, on the right side, I'm trying to show Isis, which is goddess of fertility, showing somebody normal as us, pretty much just painting her, pretty much honoring how much they believe in her, as well as on the left side, I have another Mayan entity, which is more modernized and made up of hieroglyphs and also made up of another spirit within the entity that pretty much represents how they're pretty much looking over the water, and that's where the jaguar comes in, pretty much making sure that the water is taken care of. Next to the jaguar, I also have a solar eclipse representation of how Mayans used to paint them on the walls, and on the bottom I have vending carts. And what I wanted to do with that is kind of show how everybody in the community, from what I saw from canvassing out there, that a lot of the parts of the community, people are vending and everybody's coming together to buy stuff. It's like an economy going on within the community. So I wanted to show that, since a lot of that also has been put out in the media, that a lot of us can't get along with each other. And I'm trying to show the opposite, as how both brown and black communities throughout time have been taking care of each other through this whole process of history. And that's what I was trying to show within having both types of entities, Mayans and Egyptians, as well as regular folks. The middle piece, the center piece, shows a ceremonial uh, event that happens that's called Temescali. And surrounding the smoke, also, there's Mayan symbols that are the elements of the earth. Next to them, I also have a crow, which is a good omen within certain tribes for our crow brothers and sisters that have passed away. And the grasshopper also represents one of our friends that is also a local legend in South Central, grasshopper, and also represents in Egypt that grasshoppers were very sacred to them back then. So I'm just trying to show a certain unity that we've always had, and represented to the community, where they can see that that's why the title of the whole mural was called Our History Runs Deep, because our history has been deep. We've just forgotten, or they've put other things, distractions, to make us forget. Now, as artists and messengers of these messages, we're just trying to remind everybody of our history. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thanks so much, Vida. Up next, we have Hypnotic Dreams. Yahaira Sesmas is a Chicana artist born and raised in Pacoima, California. Yahaira's work centers around the concepts of love and revolution. Her work is inspired by feminine energy and centers brown women in the spotlight. It takes a surrealist tone so as to express the mythical nature of women as creators of the world. Her work also draws elements from nature to express the relationship between earth and the feminine. Yahaira's favorite inspirations are Magritte, Kahlo, Dali, and Klimt. Yahaira, Hypnotic Dreams, if you want to take it away.
Hello, can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry for the dark screen. I'm currently on my commute home. But anyway, yeah, so for this mural, I'm centering on the concept of beauty and unity. So my whole idea was kind of like, like as bringing it back to our youth. And like sometimes often as kids, we're not, the depictions that we see on TV are not often people of color. So just really wanting to like, I guess, like paint people of color, especially specifically kids of color, and for them to be able to see that and be like, oh, like I guess having brown skin or having like melanated skin is beautiful. So that's kind of where like I drew my concept. But anyway, So yeah, basically, it says whether we are Black, brown, or whatever hues in between, our communities have often been told that we are not the epitome of beauty. Not only does this mural unite our struggles as melanated people, but it challenges the narrative. This mural is about reframing that mindset, particularly beginning with our youth. Youth in South Central can look at this mural as an affirmation that their melanin is beautiful and it is to be celebrated. So some of the main concepts of the mural are, obviously like all the characters that are on there. So we have Black people, Black youth, brown youth, light skin youth even. We have the flowers to kind of like parallel them to nature. And then the hands in the middle of the mural show the unity. And then finally there is actually a poem that wraps around the mural. It's going to be on the top and bottom part, which was written by Will Flow. And it's basically about the whole concept of melanin and just how, going back to the idea how we need to celebrate our melanin. But yeah, that's like the bigger picture of what this mural is about.
Thank you so much, Yahaira.
Thank you.
And we'll flow if you'd like to read that poem before we move into
Yeah.
Q&A.
My melanin, your melanin, mi piel y tu piel are beautiful bellezas de colores y fiel. Every tone is my own. It's like I'm never alone. The skin right here is always my home. How can I frame something that can't be contained? Our skin is dimensional with the spirit untamed.
That's really nice. And I like that the word melanin is used so many times.
True.
So yeah, that was perfect, I think.
Thank you, Yahaira. And this brings us to the Q&A. If any of the community members or anyone has any comments for the artist or for the project, this is a great time to raise your hand on the screen, and we'll choose you to speak or give us a, go ahead and unmute yourself. And I also want to give a quick shout out to Sandra Olmedo. Thank you for being present and for all your support throughout this process to bring Mayor Garcetti onto the call. And also to our partners, our grantors that have made this possible to bring a project like this to the community and investing in people from the community to lift up the voice. Arturo Gonzalez, go ahead, you have the floor.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Will. And I just want to, first of all, thank all the artists. I think this is all of your compositions are beautiful, and they will be an amazing addition to this project and to the community. You know, the central historic South Central area has a rich history of culture and arts. And I think it's a wonderful addition to that. I'm sorry, I'm in another meeting as well. And I just had a quick question. I just was wondering if anyone involved in anyone from K4P, if any of the murals will be in by anyone from K4P, which is just a local crew.
We have one artist from K4P.
Okay, great. I just, I'm familiar with the area, and I know that a lot of murals get tagged around there, and I have noticed, and I do know that their murals tend to not get tagged. I know Create's involved as well, which man, that guy's an idol of mine, as well as A1. Those guys are old school, but I just, again, all the artists, I think this is a wonderful project. I wish all of the RMC's projects could have as large a public art component. And I want to give TPL props for that. I think that's kind of the way of the future for all these new not all these new park and infrastructure projects, to use public art as an outreach and community engagement component. Even if the grant is specifically for, parks or water or open space, to kind of slide that into it is an amazing way to transform and beautify something, as well as it's kind of a best management practice to include art into it. So thank you everyone again. And I just think this is a great project. Thank you.
So, thank you, Arturo. Oh, sorry. Someone had raised their hand? Where's it at? Ángeles?
Sí, muy buenas noches. Me gustó mucho las presentaciones de todos los artistas. Conozco a Will de hace mucho tiempo y me da muchísimo gusto que traigan esos proyectos a nuestra comunidad, ya que necesitamos embellecer más nuestra comunidad, ¿verdad? Y esto va a quedar perfectamente bien. Así vamos a proyectar todo lo que es nuestra cultura y así la gente va a empezar a ver a sus comunidades mejores y van a empezar a querer cuidarlas también, ¿verdad? Porque necesitan a veces la gente un poco de motivación, ¿verdad? Y esto va a hacer que nuestra comunidad esté mucho más alegre. Entonces, creo que para mí es muy importante este proyecto. Cuando me invitó a hacer alcance Will, yo claro que le dije que sí y me encantó, me gusta mucho. Y no nada más quiero que esté aquí, ¿verdad? Pero que en otras áreas también que son mayormente pobres, que vengan ese tipo de cultura a nuestra comunidad es muy importante. Muchísimas gracias y estoy muy contenta con el proyecto y también para las personas que participan como Dayana y todos ellos muy involucrados en la comunidad y creo que es lo más importante con lo que estamos viendo, lo del medio ambiente y todo eso. Creo que eso va a ayudar muchísimo. Muchísimas gracias.
Gracias, Ángeles. Un gusto tenerla presente. Some of the things that she was saying was that she's been part of community organizing. So Angeles is a grassroots like go getter that is very involved in community work, and she's very appreciative of this project and glad to be involved and to be part of this and see how this project can uplift the community. Oh, okay.
Do your thing. I think the interpreters may have provided interpretation for those in the English language channel, but thanks for jumping in and summarizing it too. Well,
thank you. And up next, Cynthia, you have the floor.
Hello.
Yes.
Oh, hi, good evening. My name is Cynthia and I am a community member and I have been attending the community meetings. Is that me?
No, go ahead.
Oh, I have been attending the community meetings and I also did the survey and just seeing the murals or at least examples of what we are going to see on the walls is pretty amazing. I can definitely see a lot of the suggestions that were made and also not just culture wise, but I think it's really special for me personally that pets are being included. I have taken a lot of cats from my community and I have spayed them and neutered them and I'm just trying to do it on my own. So it's really nice that pets are being included as part of our culture because we do consider them to be family. So it's really nice for them to also get representation and it's not just dog or cat, but there's several other pets that we own. So I think it's special. I can relate to all the murals, but I'm glad that pets are also being included and being represented because they're important in our community as well. So thank you to all the artists. Thank you to Wilflo, David. This project really means a lot to the community. I'm very thankful for this project. And I honestly can't wait to drive around, show it to my friends, family members, and, you know, just express how amazing South Central is and how cool we have this now.
Whoop, whoop. Thank you, Cynthia. Are there any other comments that okay, see a hand. Irma, ¿tiene usted el tiempo?
Buenas tardes. Yo soy Irma López, también estoy muy emocionada y quiero felicitar a los artistas que en esos mosaicos plasman, en esos murales plasman toda nuestra cultura. De verdad es bien emocionante que todo nuestro sentir quede plasmado, los animales, la naturaleza, todo me encantó y les aplaudo su talento y gracias por ser parte de este proyecto. Gracias.
Sí, nada más quería decir, disculpe, no levanté la mano. Nada más quería decirles que estoy muy contenta de estar viendo a gente de nuestra comunidad que está adentro en la junta. Empecé a mandar los links como loca, entonces a mí eso me da mucho gusto porque no nada más están ustedes, porque lo importante es que esté la gente, no que esté una, ustedes también, pero que la comunidad esté involucrada es lo más importante porque así podemos ver qué proyectos están viniendo a la comunidad y cuál es la importancia que la gente también le pone y tenemos que hacer alcance para todo eso e involucrarlos, ¿verdad? Entonces, a mí me da mucho gusto que haya gente de la comunidad aquí.
Muchas gracias, Ángeles y Irma. Me tocaron el corazón a todos los que han hablado. Y sí, I want to thank everyone that has spoken, all the community members. Y'all have touched, like my heart. So thank you. And if there are there any other, I'm gonna open it up again. Are there any other comments or
Oh, hello, I have a question. Sorry, I'm not sure what the little question mark sticker is. No, I'm just curious, because I think you had posted something on the Slack chat, but like, what does the first murals that are coming along, like, what's the process with that? Like, did they already start?
Yes.
Playing the paint or?
So just so that everybody is aware, the construction is still going on. So there are some murals that we cannot start yet. But there are a couple that we have already put into the process with the Department of Cultural Affairs. They're not being displayed right here. So this is part of the process for the Department of Cultural Affairs presenting to the community. We had another meeting in the past, the community meeting number 5, where we presented 5 murals. 4 of those murals have already been approved to go ahead and continue with the process. 2 of those we've already ordered paint and materials for, and those 2 are Ruth's and Royal Roots pieces, which will be going on at Noemi and parallel to 41st Street, the alley that goes from Jefferson High School to Central Avenue. So those 2 murals will be the first ones that we're going to start painting. You're going to be receiving calls, especially those community members. If you're watching this and you would like to be involved and help paint, please go to our website, www.southcentralarts.com, and it'll take you to our tree link, which will have a link where you can sign up to be a volunteer. It'll ask you different questions, but please fill it out to the best of your abilities so that we can outreach to you specifically so that you can be part of the painting of these murals and get a call. So that's in the process right now. That's in the process right now. So that's where we're at. The two other murals that we're gonna be preparing for, it's gonna be Pepe Tadoro Felix's mural. Also in the alleyway of Jefferson going to Central, and Ox's mural, which is also on that same phase. So as soon as construction opens up, we'll have access to paint on those. But right now, the first ones that we're painting are Roots and Ruth. Does that
Yeah, thank
okay.
you.
You're welcome. Great question. Any other questions or comments? Awesome. I also want to give a quick shout out to David de la Cruz for the Urban Studio, for his amazing talent of graphic design. So all of the flyers, all of the posters that you see in the community that have been posted on Instagram have been designed by David de la Cruz, and aka David. So and there's a lot of work that he does in the background with the Urban Studios as our fiscal sponsor. So we can't say enough, of all the work that everybody has been doing. And a quick shout out to all the artists that have been patiently and have been excited to be getting on these walls, because the process for us to create these murals that are going to be solidified for years, and taken care of for years, is like and will be represented and captured in the halls of Los Angeles. It's like they're going to be solidified and documented through the Department of Cultural Affairs. These artists will be acknowledged, it's like for all the work that they're doing representing the community. And it's like shout out to the community, for being present, for being part of this process, for it's like being reflected on these walls. I can't say enough, of all the work that has been going individually and collaboratively with a lot of people in the community. So thank you so much for all your support. And yeah, like our grantors, the Trust for Public Land, the Department of Sanitation, Current Prices Office, CD9, everyone that is like has put in their grain of sand for this project is definitely in order to be part of this. And I it's like I am looking forward to going up on these walls with y'all. Can create and muse. Y'all, power to y'all. Y'all have I take my hat off to y'all. And everyone, thank you for your comments. And we're gonna end early today. So without further ado, if there's no hands up.
If I may, Will?
Yes.
I just want to say thank you to everybody around the table. Shout out to the RMC. Thank you, Arturo, for always being present in these meetings. Thank you for the funding that makes these projects possible. Thank you to all the partnerships that are around the table, the artists, but a special thanks, as always, to the community. Without your voices, your opinions, your participation, none of these projects are possible or reflective of the community. And I just want to emphasize that your presence here is so important. And we know it's late at night and dinner is on your mind, but we really appreciate your input, and we hope that these projects are a reflection of what the community you want to live in will be in the future.
That's right. Sonia?
Sí, buenas noches. Solo quiero felicitar a todos los artistas. Excelente arte y me da mucho gusto que embellezcan, ¿verdad? Nuestro sur, Los Ángeles. Creo que es necesario y me encanta que, no estoy segura, ¿verdad? Que la mayoría de estos jóvenes son hispanos, latinoamericanos y me encanta, ¿verdad? Que ellos, estén haciendo algo, ¿verdad? Involucrarse en la comunidad y haciendo algo para el sur centro. Así que felicidades, hermoso trabajo. Es todo. Gracias.
Gracias. Ruth.
Hola, muy buenas noches. Muchísimas gracias, Ángeles, por invitarme. La verdad que yo vivo en el sur de Los Ángeles hace más de 30 años, a cual me encanta que cada de esos artistas motiven y nos motiven como comunidad, ¿no? De mirar esos murales hermosos en cada avenida o en cada calle y ahora parece que es callejones y eso me alegra ya que yo también esté con esto de la Academia del Agua, la cual me emociona y me motiva que hagan esos procedimientos, esa cultura, esa pintura, ¿verdad? Que nos exprese más que todo y que nunca olvidemos nuestras raíces y nuestra cultura. Eso, felicidades a cada uno de ustedes, así que espero, ¿verdad? Algún día conocerlos también.
Igualmente. Muchas gracias. Okay. Well, thank y'all for being part of community meeting number 6 for the Green Alleyways Network project. And have a great night. Blessings and power to y'all, to us all.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Blessings to everybody.
Blessings, everyone. Thank you.
Good night.
Bye, buenas noches a todos.
Buenas noches.
Good night, y'all. Be safe. Stay dry.